Okay, so I'm back on my reconstituting this Drennan Specialist two-piece rod to become my bass spinning rod. And I used the Shinto rasped file down here to harvest the sawdust, so that the cork sawdust, so that I can use it as a filler. So now I need to clean the rest of it off. I did a bit of research last night into options for what to upgrade this handle to, and I think I'm going to stay with a cork rod, a cork handle, very much in the sort of guise of what would be a salmon spinning rod, where they seem to be traditionally cork handled with a reel fitting somewhere in the middle, but with a bit of handle at the top, which I think is all around being able to cast out the lures or whatever, worms, I don't know, whatever you use for salmon fishing. So I think, looking at what I can see so far, I actually think it's going to be quite difficult to get this blank back to be good enough to where it could just be the raw carbon fibre sort of in the middle, with maybe EVA at the bottom and EVA at the top and around the reel fitting. So I think that's the way I'm going to go. So need to think about getting this off, putting a reel fitting on. And actually the one thing I do want to do is I want to get a good idea about what the diameter of this is, so I know what to go off and buy. So I want to clean this up. So what am I going to do? Well, first thing I need to do, even if you hadn't done this and I hadn't done this filing and I just needed to get the old handle off, it's really important to cut around the ring, the cork ring, at the point where you're going to retain some and take the rest off. You want to cut through it to make sure that there's no glue or anything trapped in there, because otherwise when you're trying to get it off close, it will actually splinter the ring, the cork ring that you want to keep, and that's going to end up, you're going to end up kind of digging deeper and deeper farther down the rod, and that's probably not what you want. Yeah, so the way that I've done this in the past is literally just sharp blade cutting in on the joint between the two rings. Yeah, just going all the way around. So I'm using one of these single-sided, single-edged sort of scraper razors. You can buy these online, they're easy enough. I just find them a bit safer than using a double-sided one, where they're like an old style razor blade where someone's then just put some tape or something across the top. That to me is dangerous. I'm gonna end up cutting a finger off or something if I do that. I'm renowned for my DIY accidents, and that would definitely be one. Right, I've gone around this a few times. I can feel the blank underneath, the blade now, so I'm sort of pretty confident that I've got through it all. So looking at this blank, I've taped down here because I want to preserve the original logos and everything with the decals, which are there from Drennan. I just want to keep them, right? But I think that this diameter here continues down here, so it's not like this is any thinner. I think so. I think this is going to be the diameter, but I still got to clean it all back. I can't put new cork on top of this as it stands like this. I've got to get it as clean as possible. So if this was a whole, if I hadn't filed this down, this would be so much easier, but I wanted to harvest this. So the way to do this Stanley knife, tiny bit of blade poking out, because you don't want to be cutting up the blank too much, but you literally cut in and go down. Do this in several places, kind of, you know, almost like let's say, you know, 6 times or something. Put that away. Blunt blade, this is a putty knife. You could always use like a table knife or something if you've got an understanding partner, but get in there and just literally start levering the cork out like so. And yeah, so we're cleaning around the cut. That seems to be pretty good. Haven't lost any digits yet, that's even better. And I then need to just think about cleaning it back as much as I possibly can, so it becomes a combination of scraping, and because this will be stuck on with epoxy glue, you know, the type of glue where you mix a hardener and a fastener, hardener with the glue, and you know, then it causes a chemical reaction. I know that this stuff starts to get a bit softer if you apply heat to it. So I've got my trusty little 300 watt heat gun, so I can use that to blow all of the bits of crap everywhere, and I can also use it to just put some heat into the epoxy. Don't want to put loads and loads so that I start damaging the resins in the carbon fibre. But what I do want to do is just get it to a point where it's a little bit softer, so that I can start to get the worst of it off. Now, I don't want to really carve up the blank. I'd like to try and keep it as nice as possible. Don't want to put any weaknesses in it either, so a bit of patience, see where we get to. I'll clean it up, carry on off camera, and then I'll come back.